Hey, peace, diehards, man. We are 41-31. Did anybody predict that? I don't think anybody predicted that the Knicks would be fourth seed in the East. Playoffs locked in. We're about to play Atlanta in the first round. I ain't worried about Atlanta, but it's not time to worry about them now. Right now, it's time to celebrate. We got the flag going here right now. Salute. Salute to every diehard Knicks fan out there. We fucking earned it. It's been a long journey of us just losing, getting made fun of, man. Now you can't make fun of us anymore. Right, kid? Yes.
Fourth in the East, home court advantage. How does that sound, Julius?
Pretty good to me.
Peace, diehards. It's your boy Eru, the Any Star, host of the Dynasty podcast, man. We are talking about the obvious, man. We finally made it. The Knicks clinched the playoffs, man. You know, we clinched the playoffs the other day, but it didn't really resonate. It didn't really register. But we got not only just did we make the playoffs, we didn't just barely make the playoffs. We got the fourth seed, home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs, man. So I mean, like, you know, first you just need to like let that register into your brain and stuff. A lot of you need to see it visually. You need to taste it. You know what I'm saying? You need to shoot it in your veins in order for it to make it seem like it's real. But man, this is real, guys. Look, this is the standings right now, right? So make sure you guys can see it. The standings, 76ers, of course. They've been up top all year. Shout out to the Nets, of course. Nets have been there all year as well. The Bucks. Then look at the Knicks. The Knicks are right there, the fourth seed. Like I said, we're not just at the bottom eighth seed trying to get into the playoffs, you know, playing in type of thing. We're not. That's not us. We are up here in the upper echelon of the Western Conference, 41-31. Let's go to the Western Conference. Western Conference, of course, they got a little better, not necessarily better teams, but teams with better records, more elite players on their teams or whatever. But look who we tied up with. Portland Trail Blazers, they still got a game on the schedule. The Lakers still got a game on the schedule. The Warriors, we're better than these teams, man. At least record-wise. You know, and if you're not a prideful Knicks fan like I am, man, then of course you think that we're better than them. You know, because we can just go in on a rabbit hole for the wins and losses with these different teams and stuff. But you got to feel good right now as a Knicks fan, man. You got to feel good. If you're not celebrating, if you're not happy, if you're not just wearing your stuff, if you haven't been, if now you're still not there, then just shame on you. Shame on you. You know, if you wasted this whole year complaining, the entire year complaining, you know, oh, the Knicks are not good. Yeah, yo, when the Knicks win 3 in a row, or when the Knicks beat the Lakers, or when the Knicks beat that, we did all of that. We answered all your questions. We answered every question. We checked every box that you could possibly put out there for the Knicks. We beat everybody. You know, the only team that we didn't beat the Philadelphia 76ers. We didn't beat Phoenix. You know, like I said, we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, we've beat everybody in the NBA. You know, it's amazing, man. It's like if you're still wasting time complaining, if you're still like, oh, wait until they do this, wait until they do that. Like, when is it gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? When is it gonna stop? You can't claim this. You can't claim to be a diehard fan. You can't claim this. You can't claim to be a Knicks fan. You can't claim to be a Knicks fan if you're still on that bullshit, man. You know? So this is my message to everybody that will click this video and see me here talking. Like, it's over. Those days are over. It must be over. You know, we lost so much this year. We lost so many people this year. COVID is a big deal. You know, I never got a chance to do it, man. But shout out to MF Doom. MF Doom passed away. Look at MF Doom. You know, the Knicks were losing, and my man always showed up to his concerts in full Knicks gear. You know, that's the type of love that we need to show again. You know, lately I've been seeing guys on the train, you know, while I'm out there in the streets working or doing whatever I'm doing. I'm seeing people with masks on, Knicks masks. I'm seeing people pull out these hats, you know, the regular Knicks hats. I'm seeing this hat out there a lot. You know, I'm seeing the regular blue hat. You know, people got fitted hats. You know what I mean? That means they had it for a while, you know, because nobody really rocks fitted hats like that. So if you got a fitted hat, you know you was a diehard, but you was afraid to wear it up until this point. You know what I'm saying? You were afraid to wear it at this point. So, everybody's coming out the woodwork now that the deal is set we're in the playoffs. It's something that everyone could say like, look, this is what we did, But it's like, I don't know, man. People are religious and stuff like that. They're Christians. They believe in Jesus Christ and stuff like that. But Jewish people don't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe that he is the Messiah. But people could believe in that stuff. People say that that's imaginary and whatever. But you'll do that. But what you can't believe in little things like that. Did I just compare religion to it? I mean, I had to, man, because I'm just trying to. I'm pulling at stones, man. Trying to figure out what could get people into watching again and just being more prideful. I want to get into to this too, like fans that blame certain players for losses, and they watch the games from their imagination, and it's still talking about certain players that are not good enough, and this guy needs to be off the team, and this guy needs to up until the game 72 games in the season, people are still talking this way. You're still talking about, oh, if we had a point guard and if he was to get the ball out of his hands and do more pick, this is imagination. I'm talking in the game from imagination. 41-31. The proof is in the pudding. We are a winning team. We're in a winning team. Some people need to see more, aside from the record. Because you still don't believe me. Oh, you can't. Oh, you think the Knicks are going to beat this team? Think the Knicks going to beat this team? Hey, let's do this here. Let's check out the splits. They say men lie, they say women lie, but numbers don't, right? Isn't that the tired cliche? It's the truth. Let's look at the splits, man. Team splits for the New York Knicks, man. First, before we start getting into that, let's just look at the record for each month. That in the beginning there, our record for December and January, we basically can combine that because there's only 5 games we played in December, 16 games in January, right? So if you add those two together, you're talking about 9 and 12. So the Knicks were 9 and 12 to start the season. So you just thought it was just going to be the same old Knicks where we're losing. We just thought that the floor was going to fall out, and then we were just going to go back into purgatory where we've been the last 15, 20 years, right? Then February comes. February, we had a great February, 9 and 5 for the year. So people thought that it was just a short month, that we just got hot. 14 games, 9 and 5. They basically got us almost to 500 at this point here. We're still 36% for December, 38% for January. February was still 40%. Then look at March. We had like a bad March, I guess. 13 games, 6 and 7. That's about equal there. But check it out. Just check it out. The win and loss record for April, 11 and 4. Then we had that 9-game winning streak. Then we end the season with a 5 and 3 record. So add that to there, man. Every other team has their story as well. Of course, that 9-game winning streak, saved our season. But even if we was to not go 9, whatever. Let's say if we went, I don't know, 3, instead of 9 wins, 3, maybe 2 3-game winning streaks or whatever. We still would be, in the playoffs. We still would be a playoff team. But you can't discard the fact that we had a 9-game winning streak. A lot of teams in the NBA have winning streaks. So you can't discredit their winning streaks either. Some of these teams that are in the playoff bound and stuff like that, they had winning streaks this year too. So you can't discredit our winning streak and credit theirs. So that tells the story right there. Let's go even further down to certain teams. Who did we beat this year? Of course, we didn't beat Brooklyn. The 0 wins against Brooklyn. Scroll down, we didn't beat Denver. We shit the bed on that one Denver game because we competed with them the rest of the game, but that first quarter the floor just completely fell out in that game. So I think we can compete with Denver at least. Miami beat us 3 times, but we competed with them. You can just look at the stats for that game, man. We it was down to the wire every single game. They did not blow us out. It all came down to like last second shot at the end where the Knicks are now better at that now. You can give the Knicks credit for that. Scroll down to Philadelphia. We didn't beat Philadelphia this year. Philadelphia has our number. Plus they got Embiid now, so they're going to be a tough team to face, especially if Mitchell Robinson is not back yet. Scroll down, Phoenix. Phoenix is another team that we didn't beat. We were 0-2. They just they played playoff basketball in order to beat us those 2 games, and those are games that we were in it up until like the last 5 minutes or so in the game where we just didn't have the players. And then they just kind of just took the game over on us. Whatever, had to reach into their playoff bag in order to beat us, man. That's something that that I can't overemphasize, man. And just everybody else, we beat everybody else, man. San Antonio, we split them. Sacramento, Portland, we split them. Utah, we split them. Remember we smacked Utah once. Toronto, we beat them. Toronto's not in the playoffs. Let's check out some more playoff teams. There's a lot of guys here. Minnesota, 2-1. We smacked them twice. We smacked Milwaukee twice, not just once. They said the first game was a fluke, but then we beat them again. They were at full strength all those times. What else we got here? Memphis is a playoff team. We smacked them twice, made fools of them twice. The Lakers, we beat them once. They didn't have LeBron, but you can count that we didn't have some of our good players too. So you got to call it both ways. LeBron is one of the greatest players to ever play. But if they had LeBron, they would have won. Yeah, but I can argue if we had Mitchell Robinson and some of the other guys that was out, we could have won that game too. The Clippers, we split that series. Houston, Houston is a bad team. Indiana, we got 2-1 on that series. Golden State, we split them. Scroll down. Dallas, we split them, which we should have won one of those games. We should have bet on that one too. Charlotte, 2-1. Chicago's out the playoffs. Oh my God, I know that fan base is crying right now. Boston, we split that. No, we got we split them. Well, we beat them today. They didn't update the stats here, but we beat them today, so that's 2-1. Even though they didn't play all their basically their rotation because they were resting guys and stuff. Atlanta, we swept Atlanta, and that's the team that we're supposed to be playing in the playoffs here. So I mean, Trae Young, was hurt one of those games. Some of those games, Trae Young was playing the cheat code basketball on us, and we had a lot of trouble playing that team. But I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them at all. They do have a lot of firepower, but the thing is, if you got firepower, you have to shoot. You have to be able to put that ball in the basket. And the Knicks are the stingiest defense in the NBA. Nobody likes to play the Knicks because they don't want to be touched. That's just the way that the games play right now. Nobody wants to be touched. Look at the Clippers, the way the Clippers play. Guys don't like to have the ball. Don't like to have hands put on them. They don't. If they want to move, they want to just go freely to the basket. That's what the NBA rules suggested. But Tom Thibodeau sends 2 guys to every offensive player and stops them in their tracks, and they get messed up. A lot of these 3-pointers that all these teams shoot. When you play against the Knicks, you shoot anxiety threes. I call them anxiety threes, man. So if anybody else uses that, that's me. Anxiety threes. The reason what makes it anxiety threes is that by the time they get open for that 3-point shot, they feel like, oh my God, I gotta make it because the play that we ran didn't work because the Knicks are playing good defense. Now the ball is moving, and then by the time the ball comes to me, there's still a Knicks defender running right at me, and I have to put it up at the shootout. I didn't catch it in rhythm. I'm just trying to get it up there because the shot clock is going out, and things of that nature. Those are the type of threes that the Knicks give up. Anxiety threes. Shout out to teams that make them. Because those are the teams that usually get the upper hand on the Knicks. But a lot of times the Knicks are playing so great defense that these guys just don't make it. They don't make these shots. So that's been the whole story the whole season, man. I'm not going to shout out any particular player. I'm not going to denounce any particular player because it's over for that. It's just over for that whole shtick about this guy sucked and that guy sucked. I don't like this guy. This guy's not ready for the NBA yet. This guy, maybe next year. I can't wait to get rid of this guy. Because I can name the different guys. Everybody that if you follow me on the show with the Crunch Time show, the halftime show that I was doing, any of my podcasts that I've done that I dedicated to certain players, you already know my thoughts on certain guys, man. So there's no use to mention it right now. Right now it's 15. Everybody likes to say the Big 15. Pause. Big 15. It is what it is. Just call it for what it is. We got 15 guys on the roster, and that's what it is. No matter if you like this one or not. When we play Atlanta, if our guys is in there, we got to cheer for these guys. Whether if they do a bad play or it's just not the guy, the group that you want together, it doesn't matter. We're here. Ain't that what everybody's saying? Everybody keeps saying that we're here. Yo, we're here. And everybody's all hyped up and stuff. But when it comes down to it, you shit on your players left and right. Like, we don't need it. We don't need it. I'll talk about certain guys, like later on in the week, but right now it's not really time for that, man. I also got another podcast scheduled today with the homie State. So me and State will chop up a couple different things today, man. But I just had to talk to my people, man, my diehards, and just celebrate it, man. Get everybody's mind state correctly, man. We are here. We are in the playoffs. Like I said, I painted the picture for all the negativity, all the bad stuff that people say. Just just shame on you guys, man. Shame on you guys. We made it to game 72. Playoffs are here. It's not time for that shit anymore. What do I say? Watching games from your imagination, watching games from the future. It's not about that. This is on day one again. First round of the playoffs against Atlanta, and that's what we really need to focus on. And just be happy for once, man. Just be happy, man. So anyway, as you can tell, I'm so happy, guys. I just had to get out here and say what I had to say before it gets too crazy, man. With all these different podcasts and stuff out there that I'm gonna be doing. But I just want to shout out to the chat. We got Calvin Whitaker here. Shout out to Calvin Whitaker. I don't believe I've seen Calvin Whitaker here. Let me get up on here. True fat brother. Been a Knicks fan since 1967. Ride or die for life Knicks fans. Go New York, man. Hey, man, 1967. You're one of the old heads, so you remember 67. You remember all those the championship years, basically. The 69, 70, 71, 72, 73 seasons. That was the years where the Knicks were basically in the finals almost every year. So you remember when the Knicks were good. And you remember Bob McAdoo when the Knicks were bad with that team. Then you remember, Michael Ray Richardson, sniffing coke in the freaking drug spots and shit like that up in Harlem when he should be playing. Like they had to go get him so he won't miss the game. You hear the stories about that, man. So people forget about these different eras. I didn't even talk about Bill Cartwright and all those guys. Roy Sparrow and all those guys, Bernard King era. Shoot it down to the Patrick Ewing era, which lasted 13 winning seasons straight. People forget about that type of stuff. Forget that part. The whole 2000s was on trash. So many bad memories for that. Then the Melo era, and like every time you look around, somebody's posting another Melo highlight. Like that was the only thing that ever happened throughout the history of the NBA, the history of the Knicks. Shout out to you, Calvin. 1967, represent, man. I hope you're out there. I hope you had, out there with the Knicks gear. I hope you didn't just come out of hiding now. And I hope you've been out there, man. And just get out there and represent. And that's my message to everybody, man. Let's see what else you have to say here. Yeah. I just finished shouting you out with all that. Dave the Butcher, all the guys, Dick Barnett. These are guys that people know. Cassie Russell is a name that nobody talks about anymore. Like you forget about all these different players. We had Bibby, what was his name? It wasn't Mike Bibby. It was Henry Bibby, I believe his name was. That's the father of Mike Bibby. Everybody keeps talking about Bill Bradley and Earl of Pearl and Willis Reed and Clyde Frazier, but they forget about all these other guys. Dick Barnett. Dick Barnett's still living, man. He's old as I don't know. He's older than Clyde. Clyde is 70 something. Dick Barnett is older than him. He's still living, man. Cassie Russell. I believe Cassie Russell. I think he might have passed away. But we need to talk about him. 6-man and big time scorer coming off the bench. All these different guys. There's so much history of the Knicks, but that people just forget because they just want to freaking cry about dumb shit all the fucking time, man. Yeah, man. It's old school Knicks fan, but it's not really old school. It's true school, man. Shout out to Mike Morgan. Salute, man. Salute to the chat. Salute everybody. 4th seed. Can't believe it. You got Holcomb every day with the what up Die Hard. I can't live without it, man. Yeah, man. This guy, but they go Wi-Fi. Yeah. You're throwing on my side, bro. Free Frank. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about any of these guys. I'll devote future podcasts to them. This week while we enjoy our week off, while all these crab ass teams gotta mess around with the play-in. Ain't you happy that we're not in the play-in, man? Because if he was in the play-in, they would have invented some rule and stuff like that to get us out of there. Because that always happens to the Knicks, man. So I'm glad that we're not part of that experiment, that we clinched that 4th seed, home advantage in that first round, man. That's so important because it's so important because we are important. They say that the fans are the 6 man. So those that are able to get tickets, I'm going to try to get tickets. These tickets are going to be like $1,000 for nosebleed for the nosebleed section. So, man, if I'm blessed enough to get me a ticket to this thing, I'll be out there. But more than likely, for every single playoff game, I'm quite sure everybody's going to be out in those streets, man. I encourage everyone to just do what you got to do, to be out there and just support, because this is like, we haven't won in so long that now that we're here, stop saying the bullshit. Stop doing it on the little hashtags. If you're not going to relish the moment, if you're not going to live in the moment. Enjoy this. This is history. It doesn't happen often. A lot of teams make it seem like it's so easy. The Knicks did it for 13 years during the Ewing era. Since the Ewing era, we had to deal with so much losing. The last 20 years after that we traded Ewing, we had to deal with all this bullshit all this time. It's not easy. The Golden State Warriors won some championship recently, but before that, they didn't win since I believe it was 1978 or 77, something like that. They didn't win since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Golden State wins every year. Every team has their time to shine. So from the 70s to now, that's a long time since the last time they won the championship. So it's not just like something that happens all the time. So right now, the Knicks are in the playoffs now, and it looks like that we're more than likely going to be in the playoffs for the next 5, up 10 years, whatever. Who knows? We might do another 13 years. We might do even further than that. But it might not be. So, we're here now. We keep saying that's the hashtag. We here. So if we here, we need to celebrate it every single time. Don't allow people to kick us off our pedestal, man. We are here. We're on the pedestal. And we should enjoy it, man. I got my little drink right here that's holding up. I'm gonna save it for a little bit later. And that's all I really have to say, man. Thank you guys for coming in. I see my man Uncle Fulio. Uncle Fulio's doing his thing on the Nothing But Knicks show. He got his the controversy show. That everyone at first was shitting on him. I don't know why they do that, man. But now they're starting to see what I see in Josh, that he's one of the good ones, man. One of the better podcasters out there. If not, I want to say top. One of the top guys out there, man. So shout out to Uncle Fulio and whatever he decides to do. Yeah, man. Bodega is still laughing here. He my guy, Bodega, man. What up? Guard Up Knicks is here. This is my guys here too. Yeah, we got some things we got to do this week, guys, man. So I'll be in contact, and we just gotta relish this stuff and then just enjoy, man. Yeah, man. So that without further ado, this is Dynix Podcast. This is what I do. 4 fingers to that forehead, tucking the thumb salute. And I see you guys a little later tonight, man. With State, we're probably gonna go on about 7. So we'll see what's up, man. All right. See you guys then. And yo, let's go Knicks. Peace, y'all.